Right, if you look at these then, buddy, we'll just have a quick chat through these. You can finish up with some of your 7 irons, okay? So the left-hand one, we're looking at your before. Grip, as I said, a little bit weak. So basically your thumbs are straight down the grip.
Yeah.
That little red dot there sort of representing where your left wrist is not on top of the grip where it wants to be, okay? So because of that, you would come back to impact, your club face would be aiming over to the right, and then what you would do to try and send the ball somewhere left to target to allow for that curve. You'd hang back on your right side, you'd swing the club out to in, and perhaps try and sort of flick it with your hands or do something in just sheer desperation. So when you swing a golf club now, you get back here, okay, as you're coming back in the golf ball now, your lead leg is actually bending back inwards this way, your right foot doesn't really move, you hang back on the left side, he stays fairly flat, this foot spins on the ground because your weight now is on the right foot, so this foot's just basically spinning with your hip movement, okay, rather than you moving onto it, okay? And that's just please go somewhere left mentality, because the club face, you know it's going to end up right, but how to fix that, as you say, we didn't be sure what to do. So this little drill here now, you're going to start off with the club face up in front of you there. I didn't quite catch the first bit, but up here sort of level with your chest like a sword sort of thing. And then from there, drop it back down. So the club now, as you can see, when you put it on the ground, it should be very close there, as you can see. Put it down the ground there, close, and then you push your hands forwards. So you're getting in what we said at the start, that sort of lowercase y. So there's your arms there. And there's your lowercase y compared to what you had. If I sort of draw these red lines on here, a bit more of a...
This left arm is a lot straighter in a way.
It's basically... If you think of this in terms of sort of logic, I suppose, both hands are on the club in a different part of the grip, aren't they? Now, we'd assume that both arms are the same length to most people, all right? So if your left hand's at the top and your right hand's underneath, this right shoulder needs to be lower than the left, So by doing that, if I start off here now, my palms together, my shoulders are level, the Y shape, but I don't get the club palms together. My bottom hand is underneath. Well, it stands to reason I want to tilt my shoulders so my both arms can be the same length, And it puts you in a slightly more, as we said, more powerful position. Now that grip again, right hands are maybe a little bit on the stronger side, but you wouldn't look at that and go, that's horrendous. It doesn't look like what it probably feels when I do this there, does it?
No,
it's just sort of your left wrist joint, as we say, is nicely kind of on top of the grip there. Okay, so you're in a much more what your neutral is. And if you're someone who has a slightly stronger grip, hey, DJ's won £90 million on tour, and he's probably won a lot more than Live Golf Tour now, so it's done him no harm with that stronger grip, but it means you're able to return the club back to the ball, pointing more square to target. Now, with this grip and your kind of instincts in the swing to send it further left, when you came back to the golf ball, still on the back face of the impact there, your hands by your trail thigh, the ball now just goes to the left, and then once that ball then starts going too far to the left, you're going to go, well, I don't want to go to the left. You're going to start moving your body this way towards target. You'll start shifting your weight to that left side. You'll get your hands more in front of impact, and your path into the golf ball will be more from this direction as opposed to from out here, trying to stop the ball going from too far left to right. So 3 things that are going to be good for your game. It's going to improve both your contact, your club face efficiency, therefore your distance, your direction, all that kind of stuff. Whereas before, when the club face was open, the way you had to fix it was kind of hanging back towards the club to ground bottom out early. Swing left to right, so you're just slicing across it. And you said you couldn't even hit a blooming hybrid or a 3-wood again, heaven for the driver. So you're going to struggle with that, okay? If we can get to the stage where we go, okay, right, you can now hit hybrids, you can hit 3-woods and 5-woods, and your 5 irons going further, and the hybrids are going straighter and further. You should be looking at, again, 7-iron around the 150 mark, which you've hit a couple today when they've gone a bit left, which is fine. Your 5 irons going to be sort of going up towards that sort of 180 mark, 175. Hybrids and 3-woods up to sort of 200, 210, 220. Well, suddenly now you've got a yardage that you can play and get into your mid-teens handicap. Now, yes, you could go around a golf course hitting it 150 with a 5-iron and could get to mid-teens, but your short game would have to be so good. You'd have to up and down from everywhere because you're not going to reach half the par 4s, if not all the par 4s. And par 3s are going to be a long club every single time. So it stands to reason you're going to probably miss. If you're going in with a 5-iron to a green, you're going to be less accurate than going with an 8-iron. That's just logic. I mean, a more lofty club that's shorter is going to be more accurate than a longer club with less loft. So if we can get the golf ball going further and straighter by having that club this way, and at the moment now, I would suggest practice this setup like this to the point where it just becomes so natural to stand to the golf ball like this. So use a mirror or at home and just literally drill that. So you start off in front of there, so club up in front of you, turn him to 10 o'clock or whatever, maybe if you're going to be half 10, grip, club down really closed, push the hands forward and hips forward so you get sort of slightly sort of lowercase y position.
Yeah.
Reset, boom, boom, boom. So once you get into that position, then you go, okay, right, I'll put the golf club down here. Can I now build myself into that golf club?
Yeah.
So when you get on the golf course, and I say this to all the guys, especially younger guys, because we don't want to be sort of conscious of doing something that looks a bit quirky, right? If you're on the golf course with the old bloody sword and doing this, what the hell are you doing there, Griff? Come on.
Yeah.
And if you duff a shot, you'll be quite conscious of that. And all that blooming faffing around, and you miss it.
You
It's the same way guys don't do an aim point, because they stand there sort of with their feet here doing all this kind of jazz and stuff, and they miss the putt. They go, what was the bloody point in the first place?
Yeah.
So if you can get into a situation where you're more comfortable setting up like that,
Yeah.
without having to sort of do the old sword, twist, turn, drop, turn, bet, or whatever, it became a lot easier for you on the golf course to go, okay, I know what a neutral setup to me feels like.
Yeah.
Club down there, boom, 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 here I am, good to go,
Yeah.
yeah? And then just hit the golf ball. Yes, you have some bad shots, obviously, but at least you won't feel so conscious about all the sort of paraphernalia you're doing to try and get yourself kind of set up, yeah?
So with this then,
Yeah.
moving forward, like in the next like week or so, to practice, is it better for me to practice in here than out there?
I would say practice in here. You still want that same grip on the golf course.
Yeah.
But when you practice in here, you want that ball to be going left. Your goal is to try and get as many shots left with right to left spin as you possibly can. Because over time, your brain's going to kind of start working towards, okay, I want the ball to go towards the target. Your swing in the last, say, 2 years has evolved with a face that's aiming to the right and a path, therefore, that swings to the left. That's just evolved over time. You've seen a golf ball curving one way and gone, okay, I'll just change the path.
Yeah.
If your golf ball now starts curving this way, you're going to involve a path that's that way.
Yeah.
You're bound to. Again, as you said before, unless you're a complete plonker,
Yeah.
you're not going to stand there and swing the club to the right when the ball's curving left to right.
No.
Likewise, when the ball's curving right to left, you're not going to keep swinging the club to the left. It's just going to, you evolve a swing, so it's based around more feel and instinct rather than trying to be too technical. I'll drop your elbow in here and turn this and flick this and bend that. You just go, right, the ball's curving that way, got a more neutral grip. Now just start trying to swing it towards where you want to go, yeah?
Okay, sweet.
So you'd be more of an instinctive golfer rather than sort of too technical and playing dot to dot.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Good man, no, very, very good.